order, man. And y'all, what's up? You are nothing but a fucking bitch.
From man to man to man. Your sisters say they come to the truth to get right. They mean a nigga with a Bible. He taught good, but he don't apply nothing. They lay down with the next thing you know, he goes, I don't want you no more. Get out. But he on the street teaching. Teaches Daniel 7, 2nd Ezra 12, the 12 feathers. Right. The 12 harpers, I know who they is. From there.
Hey, this guy's a real deep, man. And you know he's talking about, he ain't talking about Gehenna because Gehenna's not that deep. He ain't talking about Zabak because he ain't that deep. He's talking about us. And then really he watched that show, the 12 feathers, because he couldn't break it down his damn self.
Yep, that's right. You know, that guy don't know nothing, man. And Gehenna, he probably don't even know about that scripture with the 12 feathers. He probably never even heard about it. You know?
Gehenna can't break down butter in the summertime, man. But anyway, now let's go. Okay, we was at Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, 28th verse on down. The key words that we brought out that this clown failed to bring out was lay hold on. We broke that down. And the word humble, right? Now the word humble is from the Hebrew word ainah. Now I'm gonna give you some other scriptures. Are you on the page where it goes into ainah? Go back to ainah. Go back to ainah. And then when you go to the actual Hebrew word, to the definitions, when you scroll down, they're going to give you a number of other scriptures, which I already got written in order, but I just wanted to come up on the camera so they can see it. Because we ain't trying to hide nothing, man. Not like these guys. See, when you scroll down, you're going to see a number of different scriptures. Okay, I went through some of them just to show you where that word is also found in the Bible with the Hebrew base word ainah. So let's go through these scriptures real quick. Genesis 15:13. You might want to read a verse above or verse below. Genesis 15:13. Genesis 34, second verse to the third verse. Exodus 1, the 11th verse to the 12th verse. And then when you read those, we'll go to the next group of scriptures. Because the word ainah that we just read in Deuteronomy 22, verse, I think it's 29, the same word, the Hebrew word, is in these scriptures that I just mentioned. So let's try to read through these quick.
Genesis 15:12. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, and horror of great darkness fell upon him. Verse 13. Go back down. And he said unto him, Abram, know of a surety that thy seed, and he said unto him, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Now, what did the Egyptians do to the Israelites? They put hell on them, right? The word there is afflict. Now, when you go to the Hebrew, the actual Hebrew, the original Hebrew, the word there is ainah. The same word, to force, to humble, to arrest, to seize. All right, now let's go to the next scripture. Genesis 34, verses 2 and 3.
Genesis 34 and 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
The word defile goes back to the original Hebrew word ainah. Go ahead.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel.
Yeah, he raped Dinah. Then he called himself comforting her, you know. And then he wanted to marry her after he raped her. Exodus 1, verse 11 to 12.
Exodus 1 and 11. It says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, and the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Yeah, the word afflict goes back to the word ainah, the same word in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, and the 29th verse. Now let's go from there to Deuteronomy, I believe that's chapter 26, verse 6.
Deuteronomy 26 and 6. And the Egyptians evil entreated us and afflicted us and laid upon us hard bondage.
The same word there, ainah. All right, which like I said, Nate, the adversary, skipped over. All right, because he said after they read the word take hold of, he said, what does that mean? That means it was consensual. That's adding to the book, man. That's adding to the book. Give me Proverbs 30, verse 6.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, and verse 6. It says, add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar.
And you're being found a liar right now. Now go from there to Ephesians, the 4th chapter, the 11th verse on down to about the 14th verse, maybe a little beyond that. And have blue letter on the ready. All right, go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the...
What does that mean, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry? In other words, when guys come into this thing, you're supposed to automatically put them on post. If they're really into this thing, they're not going to go to no school for 5 years and decide whether they're going to be an Israelite or not. You know, when you come up in here, if you still, well, I'm not ready for a Hebrew name, I'm not ready to grow my beard, I'm not ready to do this, then you ain't ready to be delivered, man. See, once you hear this word, man, you're supposed to be quickened. You're supposed to want to get rid of that slave name that you got. Now, you might use that name in the world because you're part of the system. You got a job or whatever, you know. But you're supposed to get you a Hebrew name. So when you have classes, the teacher is supposed to call you by your Hebrew name. Why? Because you're an Israelite. Like I said, when you listen to that whole video, this guy, okay, Steve, all right, Billy, all right, Bob, okay, Sue, and now you might come back and say, well, Paul was dealing with Israelites that had Greek names. That's true. But you know what? We almost at the end of this thing, man. The scripture says in Ephesians, put on the whole armor of the Most High. Now is the time to, it tells you in Baruch, seek him 10 times more. In other words, this ain't no thing, well, I'm going to go to class for about 2 years and then I'm going to decide whether I want to be in the camp or not. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then if I may say this, and in Isaiah, I believe it's the 44th chapter, it says that they shall surname themselves by the name of Israel. You know, that's when you wake up. Back in Ephesians 4 and 12. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying.
For the perfecting of the saints, for the what? For the work of the ministry. Now, what is the ministry? The ministry is doing what we're doing right now, doing these shows out here on the highways and the byways. Once we leave this, we get on the road and we do a show on the road. Then we get to the camp, we speak at the camp. That's the main thing, man. It didn't say open up businesses and all that. The main thing we're supposed to do is push this word out. Go ahead.
For the edifying of the body of Yahushai, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect...
The Son of the Most High is what? Behold, I come in the volume of the book is written of me. So you got to follow the whole book. Go ahead.
Unto a perfect man.
Unto a perfect man. You got to go by the whole book. You can't skip around because you're emotional because you don't like this word. So you're going to skip over that word, or you're going to skip over this chapter, or you ain't going to read this book. Go ahead.
Unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahushai. Verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro.
Yeah, henceforth we be no longer children. A lot of you guys come in there I'm gonna go to classes every once in a while for about 3 years. That's a child, man. What did Paul say in 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter? When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I did this as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. What does that mean? That meant you went out there and worked, you did this, you took care of your family. But he's talking about as far as the truth. You went out there and you pushed that word out like you're supposed to, man. Go ahead, read that again.
That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro